Oh, I guess I'm talking here. My guest hasn't arrived yet. Yes, it is the lunch table, and like most of my high school memories, I'm sitting here alone in the corner. So, welcome. I don't know where to start with this, so I'm going to try to not look like I don't know what I'm doing because that's every day as soon as I wake up. Hello, how is the chat? Hi, Terry. Hi, Snortapoopus. I can never get your name right. I saw Snow Dub earlier. What's for lunch? Tears and misfortune, and probably a little bit of laughs too while we wait for our guest to show up. Culture Casino was here earlier. Hello, I don't know if you're still snooping. And of course, Polyme's Minion, who is always on the road but always listening. I hope all you guys are having a great day. Yes, there was a new emoji added yesterday, so you can pick up your gift card for all members that are here. Yes, you're there. I'm here, and my guest is somewhere in the void in between here and there. But how is everyone doing today? I hope you're enjoying your Friday. It is the end of the week. It is the start of a new month as of yesterday, and it's 2 days until July 4th, aka America and Independence Day. So I hope everyone's stocked up on fireworks, beer, ribs, and enough charcoal to burn down a small forest. And with that, I guess we'll get into some articles because I did find one from Bounding that other people were talking about earlier, and I really wanted to kind of hit on it because I found it kind of funny because I am a Sailor Moon fan, and since we're waiting, and our guest Drew is partially working for Bounding into Comics and does articles from time to time. This is what kind of caught my eye, and it was pretty much Sailor Moon wishes luck to Olympic athletes, sparking backlash among fans afraid the games will turn into another super spreader event. Well, you know what? Why even go down there? Just wish luck. People have precautions. They literally have like everything set in place to make sure not only the event would be safe, but it can still be enjoyed. We can't keep just thinking everything is going to be a spreader, everything's going to hurt people. It's literally an anime character being used just to wish them luck. And it's taken to a point where I was just like, don't do this to Sailor Moon. I like her. I grew up on the show. I love that love story. I love the interaction with the characters and how each one had their faults and growth along the way. And I had to sucker someone to come in actually because he hates my guts. So we're going to have Gerry pop in from Pop Culture Minefield right now. Drew has disappeared, man. I don't know if you saw him or ate him. I think Cuber ate him. But hi, Gerry.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I was planning stuff out, messaging you and Keith and Script Doctor and T-shirt. And suddenly you're like, hey, swing on in. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I will.
Give me one quick second. Can you please just give your thought? Just tell people in the chat where you're from. There's someone knocking on my door. It's a med thing I have to sign for. So I'll be
No
right
problem.
back.
All right. I'm Gerry from Pop Culture Minefield. I'm also work in the film and comic book industries. I've worked there for over 20 years. And I've done graphic novels for IDW and other publishers, including the best-selling graphic novel Code Word Geronimo. And
cool.
So that's it. I'm an artist and a writer.
That was pretty much my medication for migraines, which I got to really have used yesterday instead of 3 king cans of beer. I was like, I need to go to sleep. I tried everything. And it's like, I told you, everyone's heard this story before. Like, there's some, holy shit, Wendy, how are you doing? How is treatment? Long time no see. And we also have, I saw CJ. That's Gerry. I'm not doing that right now. He's going to punch me afterwards. Usagi is drawn pretty. Yes, this is actually from, I believe, Sailor Moon Crystal, which was the readaptation of the series, but they focused more on the manga.
Drawn way differently than the original.
It took me a while to actually get into the series because I didn't like the way they had this weird shiny aesthetic to their skin, like they're always covered in their body sweat, or like they were waiting for acne to come. But then I watched the 2-parter movie from Netflix because they got the rights, I believe, to that, and I loved it. And now I have to pick up the series and watch it because the big thing for me is I'm used to the original Deke dubs, which were pretty much on YTV if you're from Canada. And I love the interaction between Serena and Darian most of all with the meatball head and everything else. And Viz Media destroyed that, and I'll stand by that. But this one was great. But having Sailor Moon wish Olympic athletes good luck for the Olympics should not strike any type of backlash or fear that the Olympics are going to be a super spreader. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. It's been almost a year and a half now. We're getting on close to the 2-year mark. I would rather just have fun with it. You're going to get sick no matter what. We don't run away from the cold. Don't attack Sailor Moon. Just appreciate the message. That's all it was supposed to be. And I find it weird that people are attacking even the stupidest of cartoon characters because they're too full of themselves. But the outrage against JOC's use of Sailor Moon began on the 26th of June when Usagi Tsukin's alter ego, one of a number of officially designated character ambassadors for the Olympic Games, whose duties involve using their name recognition to promote the upcoming event on a wider swath of audience. It's actually pretty brilliant. I would love to have, like, what they did, was it Hitsune Miku, they do the concerts and stuff. I guess it's like the same type of format. You're showing a character that's wishing people luck. Make sure you do your best, you do well, represent your country, and just enjoy the Olympic Games. It's perfect. And honestly, I can't read it. I just feel like they're just going after anything now, even 2D characters. I just heard a pop in the back and then it disappeared. That was so weird. May there be no end to manufactured outrage, lest the true nature of the world put you at ease. That's exactly it. Like, why be outraged to Sailor Moon?
Well, you got to understand that there's something wrong with these people because they get up every single day and get on the internet to look for the next thing.
Yeah.
That's their life, and it's weird. It's just weird for people to do that.
I agree, but which character do you like most in Sailor Moon, Gerry? I think you're Sailor.
I haven't watched much Sailor Moon. I mean, when I saw the trailer for this one, I wasn't interested. But back in the 80s, I watched it on TV. I watched it with my kid Benjamin, that's now a part of Pop Culture Minefield, and he and I would watch Sailor Moon together. But I'll be damned if I remember anything about it. The most memorable anime from that, or animation from that period, was Thundercats for me.
Yeah, dude. And speaking of that, I know no one has dropped a thing, but I definitely want to do this because when you say that, I just. Of course, I love Thundercats. Probably a lot of people do. The anime style one that came up afterwards was actually really good, and then someone decided to make Roar and no one actually checked their actual qualifications when they made Roar, because Roar was the definition of a bore. It was an insult. It was like watching fat Thundercats running around looking for the next snack. I didn't like it. They tried to go the Teen Titans route. They tried to use like adaptations from like World of Gumball, and I'm sitting there watching this going, I like Thundercats, but this is like Kurtzman Trek. It's just there in title. It has no actual relevance to what I grew up with or anyone grew up with.
This is just going to be one of those weird decades
Yeah.
where we're just going to get a bunch of garbage from,
Yeah.
the
Gerry
kind
and
of
Sailor
people.
Mars. Yeah, I agree. Like, but this is one thing though. Did you ever watch Neo Evangeline?
I did, but I don't really remember it. Like the big anime for me, really, it's mostly in the '80s, was also Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah.
I watched the crap out of that. I liked, well, like I said, I like Thundercats. Trying to remember anime that I really watched in the '80s.
Did you watch Samurai Pizza Cats at all by chance?
No. Oh, but there was one I remember in the '80s, was the Japanese anime adaptation of Starship Troopers.
Oh, there was. I forgot about that. Let me try and find that.
It's really weird, and they kind of glaze over the politics. And this is the thing that bothers me when people adapt Starship Troopers. You can't adapt it and ignore what he was doing in the story. Whether you agree with his politics or not, if you're going to adapt it, adapt it. Don't sit there and twist it to your personal politics, because then you miss the greater point of what Heinlein was doing. Starship Troopers was a very, very straight down the middle, severely right wing, to the point where even I didn't agree with it.
That was it there, right?
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. Bryce Day says, wait, sorry, wrong person. Bryce Day says, hell yeah, VHD, Akira, dozens of other premierings in Sci-Fi, Toonami, and Adult Swim. Yeah, we didn't really have that much here. We had the cartoon. It wasn't a Cartoon Network up here. We literally had, it was called Teletoon when we started doing like the different type of channel packages. And we got up here was like, you had to wait late at night, and we get like stuff like Inuyasha. We were lucky to get Ninja Scroll once in a while. Armitage, I remember. Armitage is a great movie series. I love it. It's about pretty much, it really focuses on the love between a human cop and a cyborg female cop, or his partner to a degree. And it eventually reaches a pinpoint where they have a kid. And this is a branching of not only human life with artificial life. And dude, the love that she has protecting her daughter is fantastic. And if you haven't seen Armitage, watch it.
And I will tell you that some of the anime that I enjoy today is thanks to Toonami, because I started watching Big O and Cowboy Bebop and One Punch Man.
One Punch Man is great. Cowboy Bebop, I got into because of the movie, and I do agree. And what was the first one you said?
So they
dang
call it dope.
But Trigun was also a very prominent one.
Big O.
Big O, yeah. Big O had a great theme song. It was the way he
Well, I like the idea that, because it was like a mech version of Batman, because he was this rich dude with a secret cave with a giant robot, and he's got an English butler.
Oh, dude, and the watch. Don't forget the watch. The watch had a main pretense, if you remember the watch.
I didn't watch that one.
You didn't watch that one?
Mm-mm.
No, the watch he wore. That's how he summoned it.
Oh, the watch he wore.
That's the watch he wore. Yeah, that's the one thing I want. He summoned it by watch. Don't you remember that?
Yeah, I thought you were saying that there was a show called The Watch, and I'm like, what is that? A Jehovah's Witness thing? I don't know.
No, I try to stay away from that. But this is Big O. That's Big O and behind him. But yeah, it's pretty much anime Bruce Wayne with a redhead sidekick, and it was good. I still love it. I actually have to go back and watch that.
Now, thanks to my kids, Zoe and my stepdaughter Deva, I do watch other anime now. Like Zoe got me watching Black Butler.
Yes.
Zombie High School, and which is a titillation anime. It's girls with the bouncy boobs.
Oh, and the sniper rifle where he had to actually that one shot where he's actually landing the whole barrel of the sniper rifle in between. He's
Right.
like, don't move. Yeah. Not High School DxD, but oh my God,
Oh, and I just finished watching the new Godzilla Singular Point.
the singer. Oh, what'd you think of that? Because it was definitely a different take.
I saw what they were doing. They were borrowing from elements of the last Godzilla movie from Japan, Godzilla Shin
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla, and I didn't like that, but at the same time, it was good sci-fi. They actually had the science right, and so I was enjoying the science fiction aspects of it. That these aren't the same monsters
Yeah.
from the classic, because in the intro and outro they show the classic monsters, but this is something else that's happening. A singular point's been created, and they've got to figure out how to stop this new iteration of Godzilla. And it borrowed heavily from Shin Godzilla for the way this thing evolved.
Before we get back into that, Calvary Man Shea says, for those that do not know, Juan Rico was originally written as a Filipino
Yep.
who enlisted to gain citizenship. Know some family members that joined the U.S. Navy to become American citizens. Yeah.
Well, as Cavatino will tell you, because he clearly read the book, um, also citizenship was really glossed over in the movie because it was so important that you had different levels of citizenship. You have those who have the right to live here, and you just go about your life, but you don't get to vote unless you serve your country in some form.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only through service that you get that level of citizenship to where you're allowed to vote on things. And of course, that goes against the core principles of our Constitution. But that was Heinlein, man. He was a seriously right wing conservative.
Now, since we're probably going to be focusing on anime while we wait for my guest to show up, hopefully he didn't fall back asleep. I want to know if anyone in the chat or even Gary, have you ever heard of Gun X Sword?
No.
Oh, well, Gun X Sword was one of my favorite ones that I actually came across when I was looking for stuff and the internet was still going crazy. But this was good for one reason. It had mechs as well as it had like a Kill Bill kind of feel to it. And the pretty much it's set on this planet called the Planet of Endless Illusion, and they have this great monologue intro when it happens, and it's pretty much like a prison planet in a way. And our protagonist is Vaughn. He's pretty much he travels the world. He's searching for one man, so it's like a reverse Kill Bill, like the way the bride is looking for the one that killed her husband during the wedding. He's looking for the clawed man who killed his bride. And as he's going through, he meets Wendy, and they start going down this journey because they finally realize that the clawed man has also kind of taken her brother, what she's in search for, under his wing, and it becomes this really kind of creepy cultist kind of vibe. And they have these orbiting satellites, and each one has a mech based off the day of the week. And I believe Van was Dan of Thursday, if I remember correctly, which is the I'll get a picture of it right here. And they had like everything in it that I could never be disappointed, and I really wish they continued it more. Gunsmith Cats, I do not know. That's one I have never seen, Shay, but I do recommend this one. Dadman says, what about Legends of Galactic Heroes? Thoughts? I guess that's for you, Gary. I've never seen it.
No, I don't know it either. The other one I enjoyed, thanks to Zoe, was Death Note.
Yeah, that's pretty much everyone's go-to except for the Netflix movie. No one really pays attention to that one.
She watched those three shows in particular: Death Note, Black Butler, and Zombie High School.
Cuber says, I'm going to get in trouble for saying I like Starship Troopers, the novel that is. That's fine, dude.
No. There's, no, you're not going to get in trouble for that. And anybody who gives you shit for that can go fuck themselves. That is a classic science fiction novel. And even though Starship Troopers, the movie, is fun, it is not the book. I've dreamt of them finally adapting it. I hear tell that they're working on another adaptation, but I guarantee you they're going to whitewash it again. Because Rico was not white. He was they were from South America, but he was also Filipino, as Cavatino mentioned. And the whipping scene was cleansed for the 1990s movie.
Really?
It was oh yeah, read the book. It's a very dark fucking look at science fiction and the future of humankind. It's very bleak.
Yeah, and
Also,
before
the uniforms that they wear are so much cooler in the book. The Japanese anime did a better job of adapting it because it was mech armor, human sized. They weren't giants or anything, but that was mech armor they wore in Starship Troopers.
now, hopefully I'll get claimed. I will definitely just redo the audio afterwards. But I want people just to take a look at this if you haven't seen this. The trailer's not that it's pretty good. Let's go past that. And this is gonna start. Sorry for the filter. It's just so they don't go crazy. But this was one of my favorites up there with Trigun. It is set like in a Western style. I'll remove the filter quickly so you can take a look. Now, his belt is also his sword, right? It has this weird kind of cloth to solidifying. You guys should know right away what Code Geass is. And that was the claw I was talking about. But this is a good series to watch. He's really into he ruins all food with condiments.
Yeah.
You get the mech battles, you get the Western feel. It's like from Trigun, and there we get Brightest. You would love this. We get the mech battles, and it's literally and boobs. So there you go. We're nailing all the pretenses right now.
So it's got everything.
It does. It even has a weird kind of Power Rangers feel. Yeah, it was fantastic, and I do recommend this. We're going to turn this into a recommendation for anime, pretty much. But
do you know what Mulligan Stew is?
No, I'm actually terrified.
It was made
horrifying.
It was made during the Depression, and it was made up of whatever the fuck you had. Everything would go into it. Mulligan Stew. It's got everything, and that's what that show feels like. It's got everything.
Cuber says battles and boobs. Yes, that pretty much is a pretense for everything. Arwen Avalon says nice, and I appreciate for everyone for being here, even though it's been an impromptu topic grab. Other than I hope Drew is okay, but yeah,
that's odd that he didn't show up.
He confirmed it, but I guess something happened because Drew does take care of his mom, so I will not hold it against him because I've taken care of my dad. I will never doubt that an emergency will pop up, but I do appreciate people being here. There was another anime that I really enjoyed back in the day, and it was more of a darker feel. And some people might have heard it. Some people might not have heard about it. But the intro song, like a lot of stuff with me with intro songs, if it captures me, I will pretty much not only download the intro song and threw it on my MP3 player.
In the world that was born from him,
but Ergo Proxy was another good one, and it was so well done. It was a lot darker, but the line work was very, very prominent when you're watching it. And this guy doesn't even know what's going on with his own self. Did somebody mention battles? Pete Den Cat? Well, there's always battles somewhere on the internet. So did I, Brightest, but thank you very much. 3 boobs. Sorry, 3 B's of 3 B's of anime. Boobs, bots, and blowing things up. This has bots as well as more of a mindfuck kind of series. But the song for Ergo Proxy, if you can find the intro, if you don't like the song, then I can't help you.
I can't take it anymore. They're gonna kill me. I might as well just go to the outside.
This was so good. This guy is just. I'm not gonna spoil the series. Just give this a shot. Really give this a shot.
Knowing the truth won't always make you happy.
I'm not gonna play anymore because I don't want to get messed up. But Ergo Proxy is the one you guys should check out. What about you, Gary? What was another series you had when you grew up? Because I feel like I've already gone 2 for 1.
What were the animes that I watched growing up?
or even cartoons that were like borderline
No,
cheap. Like,
I watched a lot of anime as a kid. I watched Marine Boy, Speed Racer, um, the Robot Kid. What's Astro Boy? Gosh, I also watched a lot of Japanese action shows. Starman. I still own like 5 Starman movies and watch them every once in a while. There were serialized movies made in
oh,
Japan.
the song was called Kiri and was by Monorail. So for those that were wondering, I believe this is it. The song is called. Oh, I can't even spell today. Sorry about that. Kiri. That's right.
No problem.
Monorail.
You want me to continue?
Go for it, dude. Sorry about that.
Okay. Johnny Sacco was another favorite of mine. Ultraman. And Ultraman Returns, that was done 5 years later. And they started doing new iterations of Ultraman after that, like Ultraman 7 and stuff like that. I didn't enjoy them as much, but Ultraman and Ultraman Returns was kind of the same Ultraman. And I enjoyed those two. And then, the Japanese with the Yamato Star Blazers.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, you're not, yeah, I'm thinking of Harkness from what do you call it? But that's the one you're talking about for Ultraman.
Yeah, Return of Ultraman.
Yeah.
Or it's also called Ultraman Returns. I like that version of Ultraman because he's basically the same one. And, as goofy as it is that he only has so much time before he runs out of energy, and it's shown through that light on his chest. When it starts blinking yellow, he's gonna disappear, and if he goes till it stops blinking, he disappears completely, dies. I don't know, but I always thought that was kind of a bad plot point. But I enjoyed the crap out of that show. I always thought it was funny. Even as a kid, I always caught on to the fact that why doesn't he do the cross arm thing at the beginning of the fight instead of waiting to be his closer? Because it's how he beats him every time.
Did you ever remember Saban's VR Troopers, which is like picture a cross between Power Rangers and Reboot? But instead of living in the computer, they're going into the computer and fighting viruses. Like they're usually the Megazord battles at the end of most Power Rangers.
It sounds like Tron.
It sounds weird. For those that haven't heard, this was another one. This was in the 90s, but it was one of those ones that came out early in the morning, and you kind of got bypassed depending on where you are and what time you woke up.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched it.
No? Well, okay. Let's see. Well, I'm playing the wrong one. Hold on. And there we go. For those that don't know, I'm probably going to get claimed a lot in this one, but I will definitely have to. There you go, Brightest. Such a forgotten show. Yeah.
Down control. 4, 3, 2, 1.
The intro was cheesy as hell. Okay. And the Mystic Knights of Tirnanog. I've heard of that one, but I never watched it. But they used really, really bad cheesy effects. You could tell it was Saban. And if you go through, no one really wants a living computer that looks like that, do you? But I'm surprised, Bryce. I'm surprised you even remember it. Most people haven't even heard of this show, but it was one of those ones that you either liked it or you hated it. What about in the chat? Let's take a look. We have Captain Harlock. I actually started getting into that because of the Netflix movie when they released that one. Was it like 4 or 5 years ago? Spaceship Yamato was a good one. Pete says, holy shit, Pete says, love Marine Boy. The old Tintin movies were ace too. I think my only thing was watching the cartoon when they had it on Saturdays, and the movie that came out, I think it was almost a decade ago or so. Dadman's sorry about that.
I've always hoped that they would revive Marine Boy.
Really?
Oh yeah, I loved that cartoon as a kid. It was one of my favorites. Kimba the White Lion and Marine Boy in the mornings, and Speed Racer in the afternoon. That was my anime day.
Really? I've never even heard about this, but it looks like it has the same type of feel. If we're gonna go down to it, like that's the one right there.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yep.
My oldest got me into Full Metal Alchemist, and it was a good series, but apparently there are different versions. Yes, you want to skip the first FMA and go right to Brotherhood, which is more exact with the actual manga itself. A lot more detail, a lot more episodes, and it does it justice. I think the other one was rushed to a certain degree, but I still prefer Brotherhood over the original anime series that came out the first time. What else do we got down here? Bryce says he was born in 85. I was exposed to a lot. I'm sorry. Shay says, I hope SJWs never touch Rama one and a half. I don't think they will. They can't spell half. Dadman Walking says, Ultraman was another one. As a kid, I kept wondering why so many shows were coming out of Japan as I got older, and I learned how many more that I watched as a kid were based on Japanese.
Well, it was a cheap way for American studios to fill the hole in morning and afternoon shows for kids as well as Saturday morning. So these were shows that were already made. All they had to do is pay some second-rate voice actors to dub them. And that's how Saban started making tons of money here in the United States. Was just doing that between 1965 through 1985. They made a fortune just redubbing shows that were already made.
I would just like to state that everyone just missed. Gary said, "Fill the hole" live. So if you guys flip that,
I said, fill the hole, fill it. All the way. You got to feel. The person needs to feel the fill. Feel the fill.
It sounds like you just want to cover me and Crisco and have your way with me, then toss me aside like a Wendy's.
Why not? Fuck it. It's Friday.
No.
I ain't got no job.
So why don't you just call it "Fuck Your Feelings Fridays"? Is that what you're gonna call it now? Kate says FMAB has scenes that are frame for frame from the manga, whereas the first was made before the manga was completed, so it's 80% filler. I do agree with that. Feels filling. No, what's wrong with you? And then we have just say balls deep like normal people, Gary.
No, CJ. No,
yes,
I'm not normal, so I'll never do it.
No, he's normal from his
Stop telling me what to do, CJ.
And then we got Wendy saying, "Damn, son." It's always nice to see her back in the chat. So I hope she's doing well. Other than that, I'm gonna ask the chat anything that you would recommend from a series, whether it be anime or based from a manga, because I would like to know if there's anything I've missed. I can label a lot. Like Eureka 7's another one of my favorites. CJ's pronouncing his undying love to you, Gary. So I see romance in the future. That sounds fantastic.
That's the shape of my anus.
I'm not looking at the screen until it's off. If there's something there, I'm horrified to even switch tabs right now. But again, it falls under the same thing. We got mechs, battles, and it had a literal great. I think I got the right picture. It had a great soundtrack, and I loved this series. Macros Plus, of course. Brightest, you were a big mech guy, so I expected that to come. I've never seen Battle of the Planets, but that's what Dadman watched. Gene says,
Battle of the Planets. I watched that too.
Astro Boy, Le Petit Robot. Okay, Goldorak and Albator. So yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, I watched Astro Boy too, but I watched the black and white version. I don't know if that was the one you're talking about. I loved that as a kid.
Me too. Yeah, well, this one's a great one too because it's like dealing with. I'm not gonna spoil. No, screw. I'm not spoiling. I talk too much about anime. I'm not gonna spoil it. Give Eureka 7 a try. They even did a spin-off sequel series where it focused on the two main protagonists and something to do with the family line. But yeah, Astro Boy, I grew up and watched it a lot. I still have a blanket somewhere, plus original episodes on DVD. I got it from a gift from a friend of mine who actually lives in Japan now. But when she came over to Canada, she was learning English, and when she moved back, she sent me like the travel book for Japan, all the subway maps, some of the little Star Wars figures from with the ears. I can't remember. They're little like Kubricks. That's the one. Did anyone eat steak while watching Attack on Titan? No. No, that's weird. I get it. Oh no, what are you typing, Gary? Am I going to be concerned?
No, I just sent you the link
Where?
for watching the film.
Oh, I don't see it right now. I'm looking at let's see.
It's on Twitter.
Oh,
It's in my
why am I?
OneDrive.
Why do I have to get it ASAP? Sorry about that. He's sending me stuff in
Because
the
I need to
background.
remove it as soon as possible.
Okay.
I don't want to
And
get in trouble.
I remember Appleseed. I don't think I've seen it recently, but they have a lot of titles, if I remember correctly. Like, there's a lot of Appleseed. But if we're gonna go into that, I believe it's this.
I love the artwork. Never watched it.
Never watched it. It's been so long. Pot Labor was another one I remember, but never.
Because I love the artwork. I love that robot thing. It was like really fucking cool. Don't know what the story is. Don't know anything about it. My buddy Matt McGuire, the artist buddy that I used to work with, artist for Guar. I'm trying to get him back on our show for all of us to talk to him because he's a fascinating dude, you know. And he watched Appleseed, and as I recall, I think he read the manga before
Really?
the show. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's saying Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan. Yes, if you like watching no genital naked giants running around killing actual human beings and eating them, Attack on Titan is for you. It's very ungluten free, but fantastic to watch.
It's got these weird, you know, things about it. The uniforms look like they're stolen from Battlestar Galactica, the original series from the 70s and 80s. The whip, you know, they would whip this thing out and they'd fly through the air and stuff. And then there was one dude that was a mutant that could turn into one of these giants. And, you know, I watched some of it and I'm like, okay, I don't enjoy it.
You made me remember.
And I was grossed out like you were. I just simply wasn't interested in it.
Oh, I wasn't grossed out. I actually liked it. I did enjoy the series. I didn't expect that type of graphic blood when it came down to it. But
yeah, that is completely R-rated horror.
Well, yeah. But I want to know if anyone remembers this, and if not, there's actually a funny thing to it because they actually used this anime and they actually made really two cheesy films. I think Dark Hero was the second one, but the first one.
Oh, the first one was my favorite.
Yeah, and it had Mark Hamill with like
it had
like
JJ
porn stash. Yeah,
it also had JJ from Good Times on there. He plays one of the creature mutants, and it had the villain from the animator films, the first two animator films.
Shay says Masamune Shiro has great work. I will take your word for it because I'm drawing a blank right now. I had a whole other show program, so I'm flying off the seat of my pants.
I also like that in the first Guyver movie they focused on Aikido. Because outside of Steven Seagal, nobody ever did that before.
Well, I try to keep it down to a minimum. I don't want everyone copyrighting my best Aikido ever.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, usually between buffets and drive-thrus that I mastered it. That was my bad joke for the day. Brightest Day says I made it through a whole one episode of Attack on Titan. Guyver is an acquired taste. Once you get into it, though, it's great. I was always fast forwarding just to get to him transforming into the suit, seeing the blades come out of his elbows, and just kicking the shit out of the Zoanites. I think I'm saying, is it Zoanites? I can never say the word Zoanites, but yeah, I loved it. And then we have other ones. I saw someone else saying something earlier. What was it? Gungrave, Bloodsea, and Black Blood. Those are three of Minion's, I believe, favorites or things she's watched. I remember the titles. I don't remember watching it ever. So that would have to go back into it. Gesture of Sin says, loved Guyver, one of my first animes. For me, it was Ninja Scroll. I think Ninja Scroll and Cinnamon were pretty much the first ones because if everyone remembers when you got the when you wanted to go to like the Blockbuster or whatever and get a VHS of an anime movie or series, it would have that intro that had KMFDM start playing, and it was the song Ultra off their Nihil album. And then you would get little previews for like Pot Labor, Devil Hunter Yoko, Ninja Scroll, and you had this symbol just rise up from the ground, and it was just on fire. And KMFDM playing in the background, and it was like, okay, I gotta watch this, I gotta watch this. and then you went down that rabbit hole of just enjoying anime as it was. Devil Hunter Yoko was another good one. Brightest Day says Tiger and Bunny and Hero Mask are newer series I enjoyed. I've heard of them. I've seen them on Netflix. Never watched yet.
There was this anime movie. They've made it a couple of times. I'm not sure if it's even the same studio, where this guy fights demons, and it was turned into a mini series and then films.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very mature. I can't remember the name of the damn thing. I watched it with Deanna, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is good!" And in the one movie, the one version, there's fucking in it. I'm like, "Oh my
Whoa.
god, yeah!" Because the demon rapes the girl the guy's in love with in the final battle.
Blue Girl. Has no one mentioned Tokyo Ghoul besides me? I don't know the one, but the demons, that's like a pretense for most H tie.
Hold on a
Isn't it?
second. I'll be right back.
Okay, sorry about that. But yes, I have watched Tokyo Ghoul. I really wanted to wear the mask. It was Dead Man's Wonderland was another one. If anyone's not seen that, one where they get sent to the prison, and it's pretty much a whole bunch of crazies using their blood as weapons.
Berserker.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now, okay. You're talking about the one where they actually did the re-release of the next season, but what they decided to do was F it up and start using cell animation, but it was really bad cell animation.
Well, some of it was really good. Some of it was really bad. It was a mishmash. The fact is, though, it was really dark and really heavy on the sexual overtones.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I watched that, and it's kind of funny because T-shirt did that dedicated episode to the creator of Berserker because he just died this year.
It's like, was it last month or so? He just passed
Yeah, it's
out?
about a month ago.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh hell yeah! That both versions were, in my opinion, both were good. I enjoyed both.
If no one has, I know we've been focusing a lot on the mechs and the boobs and the violence, but Kimi ni Todoke was a great series. It was more of those high school love stories or like trying to understand love. And if you haven't watched it, it got 2 seasons. It pretty much focuses on a girl that everyone thinks she's the chick from The Ring or The Well coming out because she always looks like she's never happy. And it shows how she starts developing friendships. One night, planning this school event. How they're not understanding how crushes work and trying to figure out that not just because you have a crush on someone that they should automatically understand it. And it kept getting better and better. And I give this at least a 10 out of 10 if you haven't watched Kimi ni Todoke. I can never say it right ever. Arwin says Alucard Helsing. That's a good one. I heard the abridged one is hilarious. Card Captor Sakura, I remember that one as well on YTV. I just couldn't really get into it with the something off about it. I just couldn't get into it that much. I appreciated the artwork. Jester says the Dead Man Wonderland was sweet. Watched the last week for the first time. I'm sad it didn't get any more seasons. It was a really good series that could have been going lots of places and it didn't. Trinoculus PS, the saga of Tanya the Evil. Have anyone seen that? I have not. I'm gonna look for it actually right now. What is it's not gonna get me like weird pictures or anything, is it? Saga of Tanya the Evil. Oh, okay. Why I have never heard of this before. This looks crazy. Holy shit. Hold on a second, Trinoculus. I've never even heard of this. I'm going to pull up the cover right now. Bam, 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 bam. Is this what you're talking about? And then there was a Legend of Overfiend. That was one with the crazy demons, I believe, right? I also liked The Gates. Do you mean The Gate or Steins Gate? Sorry, my whole shit just froze up. That was hilarious. Steins Gate. I don't remember The Gate from anime, so I'm very needing to get caught up. So, why would you recommend this, Trinoculus? Since you brought it up, I've never even heard of it. This looks like a crazy blonde chick. What about you, Gary? You seem real busy while I'm trying to figure out what in anime I can share without spoiling it, and I don't want to spoil a lot. I want to go Dragon Ball. Let's just talk about Dragon Ball for 2 hours. I don't want to.
I'm sorry. TD just like posted a video that cracked me up. I'm just.
Oh no! What did he do now?
I can't say. It's political.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Then we're not going there just yet. Just the gate. Well, Adega, I don't know if you're busy. I sent you a StreamYards in case you want to talk about the gate. I have never heard of it ever in my life. But this is Sega of the Tanya the Evil. I'll give that a shot. There was I'm forgetting a good one. Honestly, this is a thrown together episode, so I'm trying my best. But there's one that everyone should watch and should always remember, and it is honestly this. Because Vash is technically my spirit animal. Not only is he a hero and a coward, he also loves to eat a lot of donuts. It's an alternate reality where World War II it's an alternate reality World War II reincarnation story. I will definitely have to take a look at that, Trinoculus. Thank you. Enjoy. You guys are doing a great job. Keep these things going. I haven't taken a breath yet. Then we have Gesture of Sin. Crazy demons and man beasts fighting and relaxing, air quotes. Yeah, Legend of the Orphan. Why do I think relaxing is code for something else?
Also, Roger that, Dad Man. I know what you're talking about because like what we were just talking about with the giant naked people, their muscles showing with no skin. What is that show again?
Attack on Titan?
Yeah, Attack on Titan. The live action is really gross.
It can be when they're chewing, like when they're eating them like they're gummy worms and they're just ripping them apart with their teeth. Yeah, it's great. Brightest Day says Outlaw stars another one a bit like Firefly. I will have to check that out. Oh, thank you. You literally just gave me the other one, and I don't even know if people even heard this one, but I even think, Gary, you should pick this up and watch it if you ever get a chance. And right now, what people will probably remember is something called Space Dandy.
Oh, TD is in our chat. TD, yeah, your 45 video cracked me up that you posted. The bowling one.
Oh no, I'm terrified. I don't want to hear it. I think Adega has just joined us, and before we do that, hello, Adega. How are you?
Hey, I won't be on very long. Got some things I'm working with.
That's cool. You said you want.
I'm in the middle of some porn.
So is it?
No, don't do that.
No, don't do that. He's actually doing work, and he's actually like doing stuff like you do. Don't do that.
What? I don't watch porn.
No, you know what I mean. So
porn destroys your ability to have compassion and love. I don't do that.
That's why OnlyFans is failing.
I'm empathetic as hell.
But you were mentioning, before we go back to Space Danzy, you were mentioning, I think this is the one you were talking about.
That's it. Yep.
And what can you tell us about this?
It starts off in Tokyo where this doorway, kind of like a Roman gate, a big doorway opens up, big enough, to move several different side-by-side military vehicles through. Just opens up, and this rush of medieval fantasy army comes invading downtown Tokyo. Well, of course, they don't stand a chance against modern weapons, and Tokyo goes in to the gate and find themselves in a total medieval fantasy world. You see the main characters there, but the real main one is the guy in the middle, and he's a doofus, but he comes out to be a hero doofus. It's fun, has a lot of comedy, has dang good animation to it. Music's pretty good. It ends a little brief. I thought there was going to be a second season, but so far I haven't seen anything for it.
So you would give that a highly recommended?
It's a 9.
I see. So I will most definitely have to put that later in this. So the gate, ladies and gentlemen, that's the one you should be looking for. The animation style kind of also reminds me of Hack.Sign, if you remember that series. Most people probably
not offhand, no.
But I'm definitely going to check that out because it looks like so let me get this straight. So pretty much in the real world, then a gate opens up and we're getting invaded by the mystical realm, like with elves.
Yeah, it's almost it kind of reminds me of the Witcher type thing, where different species end up on one world during the conjunction of spheres. And this world has a whole bunch of different species, and you can see the Japanese guys going in and they get all hot and bothered about the bunny girls, dragons, all this kind of stuff.
I know what that says about Japanese.
Yeah, and our hero, he basically, all he wants to do is read his manga and go home, and he keeps get thrown into these situations where he keeps getting promoted because he's stupid. He keeps getting on these tough missions because he's stupid. It's really funny, but it's really cool too. And I'm with you, Steven, that Kiri Monorail, I love that song.
It took me forever to find it. It is such a good song, and it complements the whole series so perfectly. The way
it does,
and I can't. Not many series can do that. When it's when Bleach did their first season or first few seasons, and they were using Orange Range's Asterisks, and that song just fit in. Or if you're looking at what's the other one?
The first season of Tokyo Ghoul, their credit song at the end. Is amazing. I still have that on my music playlist along with Kiri. There's a few of them, but that was probably one of the best ones put together, I think, for anime.
Thank you, Trinoculus. But this... Oh, wait, hold on. This is Space Dandy, and I recommend this one because it's satirical. It's
Space Dandy. He's a dandy guy in space. He combs the galaxy like his pompadour on the hunt for aliens. Planet after planet he searches, discovering bizarre new creatures, both friendly and not.
Clearly, that was taken from the thing.
These are the spectacular adventures of Space Dandy and his brave space crew in space.
And the monologue guy literally does that every episode.
In space.
If you're enlightened like I am, then you know that the real show is down below. The booty, baby.
So if you guys haven't watched this, find it. And like the ramen episode is all I'm gonna say, but it definitely one of those ones where I'm not gonna. Nope, don't do that. But yeah, Space Dandy I can recommend as well.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Do you ever see Darker Than Black?
Yes, the one where he's wearing the mask, and they have the cutoff zones or the restricted zones because.
Yeah, I'm still looking to find that, but I do know the intro song is fantastic. But I got to find a place where I can view it. Maybe I'll have to hop on a pirate ship and set sail.
No, 9 Anime. I'll hook you up with the link after in your Twitter. It pretty much has all the dubs or the subs and the full series completions of where they're ongoing. They have tons. You will get lost in that.
You're gonna hurt me. I got so many things I need to do.
I'm not gonna hurt you. It will cause inspiration. It's like, hey, it's like, oh, what about some crack? It's not. I'm trying to do that, but it's pretty much the same pretense. But I think what you were saying with Darker for Black is.
Yep, that's the one. That song.
But if you probably don't know the name, you've probably seen this. And they do it. It was great. Another one was not another railgun. That was, I think, the English translation. There was also was the irregular at the Magic High School. Who was pretty much he was a genius. He was able to. I can never remember all the names. Nerdporial Lifeform says, I have not seen Darker Than Black. Give it a shot. If Adega appreciates it and Gerry is looking into it, probably it's worth seeing.
Well, I just found a copy of Space Dandy so I can check it out.
Oh, you're going to love it, dude. It's right up your alley, especially with the dude who's doing like Space Dandy. He's a dandy guy. And every episode, that guy opens up with the weird shit. And it's like a play on, it's like, how do you play it? It's like a satirical bounty hunter kind of feel to it, but he always looks like a doofus. And the ROM.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to jet, but before I go, I got one more. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. It was something that came to me. Guilty Crown. That's
Yes,
starting to rank
yes,
up pretty
yes.
high in my list.
I have that. That Guilty Crown. I had both of those intro songs. It was the first episode, the second one, where he just reaches up and turns her into that thing.
Yep. But not just the music. It's a good show to begin all around. But
first season was better than the second one. Honestly, Guilty Crown. I think
you got to watch the third season though, because the second season is depressing, but it makes sense for the third season.
Wait. Is the third season the one where he starts teaching all of his classmates how to do it?
Nope, goes after that. It comes to an actual conclusion. Yeah, it will all make sense. Yep, it comes to the big. Yeah, I thought the same thing in the second season, but it makes sense. It makes the third season totally worth it.
I did not know that. I did not know that at all. I have to then go check it out. Yeah, Guilty Crown is I think it wasn't My Dearest, the song. I think it was done by Egoist, I believe. And I'm trying to remember what it was called while I'm dipping through.
There's a lot of done by Hiroki Sawano, which are pretty good.
I think it was Everlasting. It was a great song. They used to do remixes too.
I'll have to look it up. Anyway, I need to scoot. So, hey, Steve, thanks for having me on. I know I just humor you more than anything, but catch you later.
Have a good one. Yep. And I found something what Adega was talking about, and I'll put it soon. I honestly just like looking at and sharing about anime, but yeah, this is great. Guilty Crown is another down the back of your neck. This intro did it every time. And when you get to that one scene within the first 2 episodes where he realizes his power, that the whole atmosphere of the series changes, and it does it by the second episode. Eventually, it's like a love story at the same time. I'm very addicted to the way anime is with love stories. But Supercell did My Dearest. That's the song you were just hearing. I have to make a list now, don't I, guys? I really have to make a list now of anime for people to actually add to and think about watching or watch partying. Nerdporial says, a great series that is one of my favorites is the 74-episode series Monster, a psychological thriller that takes place in Germany in the 90s. I've never heard of that one. Hundreds of titles in the last few decades, almost impossible to go through. Yeah, it is impossible because there's always those ones you'll miss, but there's always the ones you will always remember. Megan is also with you there with Outlaw Star, as well as a Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah. And Wendy says, yes, please. Another one that gets kind of missed, if you've heard of Clannad, I say skip Clannad. I wasn't really interested in the first series, but Clannad After Story was a better delivery of love, loss, sorrow with the hint of fantasy at the end, and it's really worth it. So that's another one. But I'm trying to find one song, so just give me a second here. Talk amongst yourselves. Gary's in the bathroom right now, and he just is doing something. I don't know what he's doing. I really want to find this for you guys, and it's from the first season. I gotta get it because it's stuck in my head now. I think it is Gravity. There it is. I think I found it. It was called Gravity, and this song was always on repeat on my everything. All right, so let's Guilty Crown. The song is called Gravity, and I cannot recommend that enough. Really, I can't. Oh, look, I'm down there without my guest. Boo-hoo. Now, Gary, I've been talking a lot. What do you have to recommend that's not just anime or any type of thing that...
Well, I left for a little bit. I had to go to take a powder my nose kind of moment. I sent you a message.
Tony, wait. Powder your nose? Is that like a Scarface reference?
Yeah.
That's weird. You're all weird. Other than that, Nerdporial says quickly, I got into anime in the early 2000s because they have these things called endings and conclusions that is not common in American TV. That's actually kind of true because we always have to hope we're getting a second season or even a third season.
Well, they understand the idea of a story arc.
Mm-hmm.
You
They
know,
don't.
you have a story arc, and each season should have its own story arc. Each character should have a story arc for each episode, as well as a story arc that goes through the entire season. And some of that can carry over, but most writers today don't seem to grasp that. It's an episode by episode drama, and there's conflict in just the single character, where there's something wrong with them from one point of the season from a previous point, because the writers don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. And I think we're going to start wrapping it up here. This was an impromptu show. I hope Drew from Supreme Heretic is doing okay. Eventually, Lunch Table will go back to its original format on Reina. I know she's finishing up the last of her details with the moving and the packing. And with that,
with the moving and the packing.
Yeah, Dubs. Jester says Dubs have their place. I use them for background watching. That's exactly what I do, especially when I'm working on thumbnails and stuff. But always subs for a dedicated watch and all first times. I can agree with what he's saying to Raven. And we're gonna finish off with Dadman walking to his apparent. Oh, wait. Apparently, the original Gotcha Man had themes and materials that was westernized in the Battle of the Planets released in the U.S. Never knew until my oldest kid told me recently. I didn't. That's pretty cool. I want another one. Brightest day for the $4.99 super chat. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. Good job holding it together. My legs are still shaking, but I try my best to make sure I sound coherent. And for that, I'm going to throw you. Well, what should I throw you today? Let's throw you.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What?
Thank you, Brightest, for that super chat. I appreciate
Never
it.
dance with the devil in the pale moonlight.
Yeah, exactly. Not today.
I like to ask that of all my victims.
As I get copyright claimed because he had to keep pushing that super chat. Thank you, Gary, for being here today. Thank you, chat.
You bet, buddy.
Thank you, mods, members. Check out the grift card emoji. It is now in there. Yes, I made the grift card care of Fred and his idea yesterday.
Hey, and don't forget, Stephen and I will be on Pop Culture Minefield in just 2 hours. So remember to come back for that, because we're going to be interviewing Tom Conkle.
I love it when I don't even get to segue my own guest to ask them what's coming up before they just jump right in.
I read your mind, man.
You're not. I don't. No, you're not reading my mind. You just went, "Fuck this guy." I'm going to say this now. That's pretty much where you went with it.
Oh, you got another one.
Yeah, I know we do, because they're pretty much. I'm getting another one. Like, Steven, next time, just get a real human being with a soul. A $1.99 super chat from Dadman Walking. I hope you're done with the lawn for your effort and love the improv, bro. It is so hard improving. And for that, I'm gonna give you. Oh, fuck it. You get the. That's right. You got the Hamada. Thank you, Dadman Walking.
Just remember, Stephen, the rule of improv is yes and then.
I'm sorry, that was them muting. Sorry. But yes, we will be on Pop Culture Minefield later today. I love when someone takes my outros and tries to slap me in the face with them. This has been Gary from Pop Culture Minefield having another stroke pretending he's dancing in high school. I want to thank the mods, the chat, the people who have participated in this impromptu anime table episode. And with that, God help us all. God help my sanity. Y'all take it easy. And I am so fucking out of here, bitches.